Hello everyone, and welcome back to this week's Sabbath School Nugget. Now, before we begin, I just want to say thank you to Thando for walking us through last week's lesson, The Fires of Hell. What a lesson that was. Now, this week's lesson is entitled End Time Deception. It's an important topic, and you won't want to miss a single study. Our memory text for this week comes from 2 Corinthians 11, 14, and 15. And no wonder, even Satan disguises himself as an angel of light. So it's not strange if his ministers also disguise themselves as ministers of righteousness. Their end will match their deeds. Now, Sabbath's lesson reminds us that we live in a world that is saturated in the occult and the supernatural. It's in our books, our movies, our stores, our video games, and the list goes on and on. What is so dangerous in all of this is the blurring of the lines between the holy and the unholy. Hollywood has done a masterful job of mixing some truth with a lot of error. And let's face it, movie makers have made a fortune from selling that age-old lie, you surely will not die. Now, when you think about it, who wants to die? And for that matter, who doesn't like the idea that somewhere out there is a loved one looking out for us from the great beyond? Now, add to all of these stories of near-death experiences combined with science weighing in on the issue, and make no wonder so many people have bought into the lie, you surely will not die. Now we come to Sunday's lesson, which brings us to the issue of mysticism, and I'm going to try to explain this as simply as I can. Mysticism is the desire on the part of many people to achieve a state of spiritual ecstasy or a heightened sense of spiritual awareness, which is achieved through an altered state of mind. People who do this try to use meditation to achieve a form of self-hypnosis or a dissociative state with the goal of leaving one's body or conscious mind in order to connect to a higher level of spiritual consciousness. Whether it be oneness with God or oneness with something else like the universe, there are two great dangers with this. The first is that far too many people define truth by how they feel spiritually, rather than defining truth as it is found in the Word of God. These people allow feelings and experiences to trump all other truths, including the Bible. Their motto? Well, let your feelings be your guide. The problem with these feelings is that they are manufactured by us and not by some divine force outside of us. And at the end of time, Satan will have no problem manipulating how people feel. The second problem, and what has to be the greatest danger, is the disconnect from our conscious minds. Our conscious mind is the gatekeeper between right and wrong, good and evil, truth and lies. It literally is designed by God to be the filter that protects us. Once you shut that down, a person becomes wide open to any and all spiritual influences. And here's what we know. God never bypasses the conscious mind, which means if you bypass the conscious mind, the spirit moving you is not from God. But more about that later in the week. Thank you for stopping by. God bless.